What is going on, everybody? What is up? It is Matt. Welcome to Wrestling with Whiskey Weekly, the bourbon show for the 21st century. And you know what? Screw it, I'm going to say it. The best damn bourbon show, the best damn whiskey show. It's going to turn into the best damn spirit show on the entire planet, bar none. And we are just getting started. So I hope everyone is having a great Wednesday. It is Whiskey Wednesday. It is, Weller Wednesday. What if you want to get that specific about it? Whatever. It is time for Wrestling with Whiskey Weekly. The show with the name that's way too long. I should call it Wednesday Whiskey Weekly Wrestling. I don't even know, but it's not the point. I appreciate all you being here, all you people who are here live on YouTube right now, those who will be joining us later in the week as this broadcast will stay up. This show is up there for you to enjoy. So our main event tonight will be the first ever barrel selection for Wrestling with Whiskey Single Barrel Club, which if you haven't seen it, I'll post the link again. It's right there. You can find it in the chat. This is the first, and this barrel is interesting. I've already had the chance. Full disclosure, I did go and meet with our retail partner, the Liquor Barn in Wheeling, Illinois today. Marcel there, who runs the operation, is great palate and everything. So I wanted him to get kind of the first sips and get his input. So I do have his kind of vote on things, and we say so just a little bit of each one. So we have an idea of what's going on. But I'm going to taste them all again. I'm a big believer in multiple tastings depending on what you eat, what you drink, what you're smelling. All these things can change. But we'll get to that in a minute. I do want to cover just a teeny bit of whiskey news from the week. We'll kind of hit it bang, bang, and we will get to the whiskey drinking, because that's what we're here for, let's face it. All right. First and foremost, the big thing that kind of blew up in the whiskey media world was the kind of, I don't even know if I'd call it a revelation, because from what I've heard, and I honestly haven't paid a lot of attention to him, but from the people who did know him, we're talking about Jim Murray from the infamous Jim Murray's Whiskey Bible. It was probably the thing you have heard. I know I had heard probably side by side with things like San Francisco Spirits Competition as far as whiskey awards every year. What did Jim Murray name best whiskey or best bourbon? What did San Francisco? Those were always the ones. Those and like the World Whiskey Awards. So it didn't even come to light, but people are really, with this year's edition, just really catching on, and especially in the cultural environment we're in, which you think the guy would have a little bit more smarts to him, a little bit more awareness, just the sexual innuendo. And I didn't read a lot of this at first because, again, I think it's pretty arrogant when you're out there calling your publication the Whiskey Bible. You're already jumping down the sacrilegious crowd, but to have that kind of arrogant thought that what I'm going to put out, what I think is the ultimate, end all be all of whiskey reviews and everything, the Whiskey Bible. I mean, what kind of arrogance does it take to do that? It's ridiculous already, which is why I generally didn't pay him much mind to begin with. But everyone's coming out with it. I've seen some of these snips and these clips from his articles, and it's just ridiculous, kind of in a way. I mean, he's all like, oh, everyone's too sensitive and everything like that. And you know what? I read him, and it's one of those things where he's not like tearing people down. I'm saying, he's not like some people in the public eye. But it's one of those things where I'm like, this guy's already kind of an arrogant douche. Pardon, it's live, right? This is live. It's my show. He's kind of an arrogant douche. But then he just comes off like a creep. No, he's not like making fun of anybody inherently, but just his notes and talking about everything as a woman and a sexualization of everything. We already over-sexualize everything in the world. Do we have to over-sexualize whiskey and put this which is an inanimate object that we have ownership over, and compare that to an intimate relationship with a woman? So In the chat, Sardog, controversial. But here's the thing: he wasn't trying to be controversial. This has become so. Like, he was just thinking his salacious and his ridiculous, like, tasting notes and things like that were like good writing, and it was intriguing and that it was well written and everything. And I mean, like, it's just, I don't know. All in all, it just takes a guy who was already arrogant. And I'm glad to see a lot of companies like Beam Suntory are actually putting back, like, look, because their whiskey won, I think, either best whiskey or like best world whiskey for one of their Canadian ryes. And they've said, like, we're proud of our rye and the award, I guess, but we do not and we are not going to be submitting to him anymore. A lot of and not going to be covering or selling the book in their retail shops or their gift shops, anything. And a lot of people have come forward. So one big missing distillery so far of the big conglomerates, though, is Sazerac Buffalo Trace has not said anything, and everybody was a little that they haven't said anything yet. I have a feeling pretty much everybody will join in, and I think rightfully so. But all in all, I'm glad, yeah, the major corporations, the major producers and everything are pretty much saying bye-bye. Bye-bye, Whiskey Bible, and I couldn't be happier. I'll tell you that much. Absolutely arrogance, and just, he's a creep. Like, I'm not even going to give him, like, he's this big controversial, like, I don't even want to give him, like, this cool guy status of, like, he writes controversial. No, he's just a creep. You know what I mean? He's not even cool and edgy. He's just a weirdo. He's your creepy Uncle Jim, and we can say bye. But moving right along, big release news of the week, which was kind of a surprise drop I saw it from Jackie Zykan, Master Taster over at Old Forester. And it is that, in addition to Birthday Bourbon, which just dropped not too long ago, Old Forester is celebrating the 150th anniversary of consistent operation. They are one of the few. They existed before Prohibition, through Prohibition with a medicinal license, and then continued after. Many brands had shut down or lost the brand in between in those times, but Old Forester, for 150 straight years, has been operating and bottling bourbons and whiskeys. So to celebrate, they kind of dropped a surprise on us. They kept it pretty simple, as Jackie Zykan put it. I do have a little bit of like release. So it's 3 batches picked from 150 bottles, and it's going to be $150. And yeah, it's not 150 proof, though. I will tell you that much. Let me read a little bit from here. It will be released in the tinted amber glass bottles like they used to have in like the 30s and 40s and stuff like that, which I think is very, very cool. So 150th anniversary, 150 barrels were chosen by Chris Morris and set aside for a later release. And then Jackie Zykan tasted them individually and separated them into different batches, providing different profiles and flavors. So batch 1 is 125.6 proof, and there were 46 barrels in that batch. Batch 2 was 126.4 proof and is more sweet and spry, and there were 48 barrels in that batch. And then batch 3 is 126.8 proof, and there were 53 barrels in that batch. So all in all, 150 barrels. It should be national in the release. This is not a distillery only. This is not a gift shop only kind of thing, or Kentucky only. It sounds really, really nice. It's full barrel, not barrel proof, but batch proof, uncut, unfiltered, and it should be on shelves nationwide. I don't know if they have how many total bottles. 25,000 bottles. That's a pretty good limited release. 25,000 bottles. In theory, there should be at least 1,000 per state. Obviously, bigger markets will get more. So it'll be tough to get, but it shouldn't be impossible. And I'm hoping, especially at your bigger box stores, you can get it at $150. I think it's a fair price for well sort, like this well put together. I know Jackie Zykan. I know Chris Morris. They do incredible work, especially on these limited releases. King of Kentucky is always awesome. Birthday, even in its worst year, Birthday Bourbon is usually pretty damn good. So I'm looking forward to Old Forester. Happy 150th anniversary to them. Jackie, Chris, Campbell, everybody over there. You guys are doing awesome work. Here's to the next 150, please. But getting right along, ladies and gentlemen, if you are here from the Barrel Club, it is time for the main event. This is going to look very different in the future. Do not worry. I plan to do this with patrons, members of the Barrel Club. It arrived last minute today, and I wanted to do the first kind of tasting with our store and retail partner. And then I kind of had to rush home to get this all set up anyway. So in the future, you guys are going to help me choose this. The next one coming in will be a Woodinville whiskey pick. That'll be coming in a few weeks, and we will have one of you help me pick it live on YouTube. So without further ado, let's get over to the tasting corner and enjoy my new switching animation. Oh baby, here we are. So as you can see by the name, our nameplate over here, this is going to be a 10-year wheated bourbon. I have not been able to find out, even with my little poking and prodding questions, what distillery it's from. We don't know if this is Kentucky. It doesn't say that either. We just know it is a 10-year wheated bourbon that was then taken and put in Calvados barrels, which is like a French apple brandy, for according to the distillery, which this was almost 2 years. And these are all at cask strength. They will be bottled at barrel strength. They will be about $99, but I believe for the Single Barrel Club, through our specialty club link, we will be able to get a small discount on first release, which I don't think the regular customers are going to get. So, take a look at me if you want to take a little look at the sample bottle here. Give you just an idea. There you go, 10-year wheated. Oop. Anyway, the focus. So we have, this is barrel code CAL, Calvados, 6. This is a 10-year-old. The proof on this one, these are all going to be the same. Ex Calvados, same amount of finishing time, same age, same bourbon that went in originally. Proof on this one is 121.6. So sample one, ready to go. Again, color, pretty nice. Nothing crazy. Take a little whiff. This one. So this is not, I will say, like, I am a big fan of the Weller lineup. I'm a big fan of even like Larceny. I do actually enjoy Maker's Mark. So I'm pretty familiar with wheated bourbons, but man, I don't know if it's the finish or if it's, depending on who produced this. There's not too many people who have 10-year wheaters in stock. Because MGP, I don't believe, makes wheated bourbon. It would have to be something like a Heaven Hill, potentially. Maybe a Barton. I don't know if they've sourced their wheated mash bill, though. Buffalo Trace does not. Brown Foreman doesn't have a wheated bourbon. This is, again, wheated bourbon, not a wheated whiskey. Okay, this one, the ethanol is kind of strong on this one. But not too crazy, which is good. But just light fruit, leather dancing kind of on the top. There's this interesting, like, bitterness, like, sweeping over the whole thing. I don't know what to put my finger on it. I remember when we sampled these lightly earlier today, these got a little bit more from the palate and mouthfeel than they did from the nose. Cheers. Ooh, there's the apple. Not too much heat for 121 proof, honestly. Not too much heat. I've had Knob Creek picks that burn a lot more than that. But there's fruity. It's a lot. I will say this though. This is a lot spicier than most wheated bourbons. Especially with a nice, like with a fruity finish. You think this would be a lot softer, but I like the bite that this has actually. Mmm. Lot, yeah, pepper spice breaking down, dancing kind of on the tongue on that one. It's a little bit lighter than I expected. Okay, so that's sample number one. Again, 121.6 proof. I like it. I don't know if I'm bowled over the moon yet. Yeah, this is a little bit more of a premium bottle. Talking in the chat a little bit about it. I'm with you actually. I don't, for a good pick, I usually like that, 50 to 70, maybe 80 if it's a really good pick and a good store. So this is going to be closer to that 90, 100. But like I said, if you're a member of the club, we're going to hopefully have like a, opening salvo, kind of a coupon code. Maybe help you save $5-10. Which it's something on like something that's going to be near $100. But again, in this whiskey market, this is essentially a 12-year cask strength bourbon with a really nice finish on it. Going by the market, it's not the worst. It's not terrible pricing. All right, here we go to sample number two. This one, also, this is barrel 9, 121.6. Ooh. This nose is much, much like less abrasive. That first one was a little ethanol-y, sharp alcohol. So this one's way fruitier. Much dark, or not darker color, but I feel like dark fruits. No ethanol on this one at all. Some fruits in there, but I'm not getting a lot of the spice. Okay. Again, a little bit more going on in the palate than on the nose in these. So let's taste. Fruitier for sure. Getting some more grape, stone fruit, some dark cherries a little bit. Not overwhelming. Again, it's not too sweet though. I'll give it that. But it's not. Much more significant mouthfeel. And I don't know about you guys, but when I get some, especially something at cask strength, if I can, I love a bourbon, a whiskey I can chew on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how some people feel about the word viscous, but viscosity, you know what I mean? It feels substantial. It's not, too thin and watery. Even though that doesn't necessarily mean less flavor, I just love something that just feels hearty. And you can always add water to bring it down a little bit. And on this one, though, this one drinks very sweetly and kind of softly for 121 proof. Take one more sip. This is a weird note, but there's almost like a bubblegum almond going on in that. Again, this kind of bitter candy is there for each one of these. Finish has this like, I don't know, like fruit peel almost. It's like that dry, almost like an orange peel, but it's not citrusy like that. But that orange peel where it's like bitter but sweet. Yeah. Hemi like a chewy. Hemi in the chat likes a chewy bourbon. I hear you. I hear you. And Sardog, 125 on the Sam Houston 14. I mean, that's 14-year Barton. That's pretty. That's not a bad deal either. The old rule. The old rule is $10 a year, which doesn't really apply because it's really exponential. Because then you'd have 20-year whiskeys for $200, which would be amazing. And that just is not happening. All right. So it was sample 2, 121.6. Moving on to sample 3, 120. Same stats, 10-year wheated bourbon, same amount of finish in the French apple brandy barrels. This one is 120, which this is the lowest proof of all 4 samples. The first 2 are 121.6. Looks like the last one is 121.4, so this is right at 120. Ooh. Okay. I was testing myself to see if it would change. But full disclosure, this is the sample that Marcel, our retail partner at the Liquor Barn in Wheeling, Illinois, this is what he was very much leaning towards. And I really liked it too at first. And I was kind of just putting it out there, put it third tonight to see if maybe my opinion would change as I taste through them again. But man, this combines things from the previous 2. This has a way more in-depth nose on it. Ooh. This is plum and grape, like purple fruit, purple fruits. That's all I'm thinking of is purple fruits. Black pepper over the top of it, like a cloud of black pepper over some dark stone fruits or something. Ooh. Yeah, okay. I'm glad I put this one where I put it. I almost kind of wish I would have put it last. Beautiful. Really nice Kentucky hug. Just kind of envelops the mouth. Starts on the tip of the tongue. Rolls and kind of sits in the middle palate. The spice is quick though. I will say that spice envelops and then it kind of dissipates. The finish keeps going, but the spice is like a wave and then out. But I get a lot of dark fruit. The oak is there for sure. And a lot of like almost grape and plum and like sometimes even like grape medicine-y, like medicinal notes I get from double-digit aged bourbons. Especially if they're in a brandy barrel. But yeah, there's almost like this medicinal. But don't get me wrong, not in a bad way. It's got a nice drying effect to it too. Like some wines have. It just kind of soaks up into the roof of your mouth. I use my hands a lot, by the way, if you can't tell. I used to be an actor. And Hemi in the chat, you're not far off. I mean, like a Syrah, like kind of, but it's obviously more bold and this is very heavy. But this one just has the most going on. There's light spice, there's deep fruit, there's a nice finish, and coating mouthfeel. Yeah, now I know there's a reason we liked it in the first place. All right. But I got to do my due diligence. We got one more to try. Everybody in the chat, Jay Galinsky is in the chat. You guys check him out on Whiskey Heaven on Instagram. I will be having a chat with him tomorrow, and that'll go up on the internet, on social. And we'll talk whiskey and just talk life and stuff like that. Awesome guy at Whiskey Heaven. Give him a follow on Instagram. Hell of a collection over there in the UK. Lot of single malt fans. You can check him out, but likes a bourbon too. So good on him. All right, final sample is barrel number 8. Once again, we're back at 121, 121.4 proof for this one. Let's take a little whiff. Ooh, this nose, not a bad. This nose is really nice, but it's much more ethanol-y. There's a sharp alcohol on the nose on this one. I did just whip it up though. Yeah. Same thing. The fruits are there again. Ooh. See, even now, there's still more ethanol and alcohol in this. This one's sharp. This one's pretty sharp on the nose. Much less sharp on the palate, though. Okay. This one's very fruity. This one's sweeter. This is probably one of the sweetest ones overall, which can be nice. There's some maturity there. A little bit more sugary fruit. You know what I mean? Same thing, kind of grapey, plummy. Not as medicinal. And again, that's not a bad thing on that third one. I kind of like that medicinal one. It gives it, again, this kind of like almost menthol-y, and then there's that bitterness to it. There's just a lot going on in that third one. This one, I think, is very pleasant and might be my second choice, but it's just like, it's nice. You know what I mean? I guess, like, it's nice. The barrel finish gives it that sweetness. The wheated bourbon, it is softer on the palate, but the nose is a little sharp. Mouthfeel is nice, but actually, you know what? I'll take it back. Finish on this one is actually pretty interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind the finish. This one feels a tiny bit longer. I got to go back to 3. This one was very pleasant on the palate. I just feel like it was kind of just like there, though. Whereas I think 3 kind of like, had a lot more like layers going on. More to think about if you like thinking about your whiskey, which if you're in this channel and you're in this barrel club, you do. Okay. I mean, I think that's it. I just went back and had 3 again, and hot diggity damn, kids. I mean, hot diggity damn, kids. Seriously. So I can kind of show you this now. Like, so here's, when we first tasted this at the store today, it was full. So I didn't want to put that out there, and I tried to not even put it in my head as I tasted through every one of these. Not quite blind, but I kind of put them in a random order, different order than we tasted them earlier this afternoon. And damn, the same one won out. So that's the one we kept going back to. That's the one I feel strongly about. Our retail partner Marcel at the Liquor Barn feels very strongly about. I mean, I think we have a winner, folks. Barrel number 10. And how perfect. 10-year bourbon, barrel number 10. 120. The lowest proof. Hot diggity. Chat, Eric and Sardog, yes. It's not a bad idea. Hot diggity damn. We got ourselves a first pick, right? I do have a sticker guy working on some this for the first one. I will warn you, we're going to do a sticker, especially because these untitled bottles, as you can see over on the side, they're pretty low key, so there's plenty of room for a sticker. I'm going to make sure they're included in the box. I won't slap them on there right away. I'll let you guys put them where you want. I think I'm going to put a small sticker, kind of, if you can look over at the bottle there, right below the label. I'm just going to get a little thin strip. It'll have the Wrestling with Whiskey Single Barrel Club logo on it. I'm going to put the age on it because they don't put the age on their labels for whatever reason. So I'm going to put the age on, the age on it. And this one's going to be pretty basic because I just want to kind of get it out there. The first pick, but we can call it, quote unquote, hot diggity damn. Because ladies and gentlemen, we have a pick. We have a pick. We have a pick. We have a pick. We have a barrel pick. And those are my sweaty pits. We also have sweaty pits. Sweaty pits. Sweaty pits. So that works. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is one of our more well-attended episodes. I appreciate you guys all being here. Seriously. If you haven't joined the Wrestling with Whiskey Barrel Club, the link is up in the chat. You can see it. It's the link from me. There are 30 states. You can click the link and check it out. And if you're in one of those states, $5 a month puts you in the group. We get first priority access. And if you're in the group, I will be picking different people each time we have a pick. And I will be sending small bits of each sample to them. And we'll do this right, just like we're doing right now. We'll do it live on air, and we will select it because I want to get input. I feel like I have a good palate. I've developed a good palate over the last few years, but I want to hear input from the club as well. So we'll pick different people each and every time to help us choose, and we'll keep growing this. And guys, tell your friends. We've been growing so well, but I think this battle is. This barrel is special. This is a really fun first one. And, it's not a regular everyday one. So keep an eye out for when these, I think after we select, it'll probably take another month or so, maybe a tiny bit longer to get the bottles. But keep an eye on Wrestling with Whiskey Weekly. Keep an eye on @Wrestling with Whiskey on Instagram, on Twitter. And I will keep you up to date when those bottles will be released to the club. And obviously, if you're in the club, patreon.com/wrestlingwithwhiskey. I will update you on absolutely everything. And if you can, please like, subscribe, and comment right here on this video. It helps us get discovered. It helps this channel blow up. It helps everything grow because this is, as I say it in a lot of my online and digital creation work, like it's all about community. You know what I mean? It's about the content, it's about the whiskey, and it's about the fun stuff we do, but none of it happens without you guys. And I have made headway into things like Twitch by helping breed communities, not just audiences, not just groups of people who watch things, but communities who interact with each other and build something. So thank you to all you guys who do that. Spread the word. Let's make it the biggest, best community we can. And I will see you guys next week right here. I've got a crap ton of reviews to catch up on. I apologize to all the awesome distilleries who have sent me stuff over the past few weeks. We are going to have a big bonanza next week with at least 3 or 4 reviews live right here on air. Guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful Whiskey Wednesday. Thank you for watching Wrestling with Whiskey Weekly, the bourbon show for the 21st century and the best damn bourbon show and whiskey show on planet Earth. You guys are awesome. I will see you on the next episode.